Hi, I'm Mr. Nowicki. In case you don't know what I look like, this is me, and I wanted to talk a little bit in this short presentation about the forums, about how to do well in the forums, things to avoid, and things to include in your forum responses. And so the purpose of the forum is for me to see that you've read the textbook and read the prompts that came with the assignment, and that you can relate those things together, so that you're writing to answer a couple questions, but the real key is using examples and evidence from the prompts and from the textbook, and so bringing those things in together, and that's the real key thing, is to write a couple paragraphs and show that yes, I understand that, and here is how I answer that question, and I show that I understand it. And so let's go um, to the PowerPoint and slide, and here's the picture of the discussion forum simplified rubric. And so here the rubric shows a couple things. It's, of course, the form is only worth 5 points, and so I will give you anywhere from 1 to 5 points, 0 if you don't do it, but 1 to 5 points based on your response. What I'd like you to be able to is answer the question and support your answer with arguments and examples from the textbook and from the prompts, and so that you understand what's in the textbook, what they're trying to get across, and that you can take those things to answer the question. And so in the first week, it's understanding what is science, and how does science related to vaccine development and our trust in vaccines. And so there's some nice description of what is science, and then there's some nice prompts on vaccines and how they're developed and use of vaccines and things like that. So um, getting all that points means that you've read all that stuff, you've looked at the prompts, and you've put that together in a couple paragraphs using some evidence. And this should be done in a timely manner. So that means, of course, during that week, but it also means that you do it yourself, and that your answer is your own answer, not that you're just copying the answer of someone else or using the information they've already provided. And so, depending on how similar your posts are to other posts, if they're basically a repetition of another post, then you won't get all the points, because you're basically repeating what they've already said. Also, the question requires that you've seen the prompts, and you give evidence that you've seen the prompts, and give evidence that you've raised the textbook. So if you just answer the question, and I can't really tell if you've read the textbook or even seen the prompts, then you won't get all the points. You'll get significantly less. And so look at the proficient, and then the needs more work, and the not quite there yet, and try and get to the what is the question asking you, what information does the prompt give you, what information does the textbook give you on this. And so this is something that requires a little more time. Hopefully you'll get it fairly well, and get to it fairly early. It's usually in the prompt I will insert videos. I'll have a question that's maybe 2 or 3 lines, and then I'll have a couple videos on relevant material, and then I'll try and point you back right to the textbook. And so, like today's information talks about, or this week's information talks about vaccines and how they're tested, the use of vaccines, the consequences of not having a vaccine, and so on and so forth. So keep the rubric in mind. Keep in mind that you should answer the forum early, and do your best to show some evidence of or examples that came from the textbook and from the prompt. All right, good luck. I look forward to reading your post.